Hey guys, Goobear here. Today I get to review Kanabo because Spooky was nice enough to lend it to me. Thanks, Spooky! But anyways, let's get right into the review. Kanabo does 10 damage plus 1 burn, so that's 11 damage total. It swings very fast, but unlike other limiteds, there's no heal when you kill an enemy. Kanabo kills really quickly, just like Ryu and Cupid. Using my frame-by-frame analysis like last time, we see that Kanabo kills in about a second, and Ryu also kills in about a second. Same with Cupid, it's also a second. With all this said though, Kanabo can be a little harder to use than Cupid and Ryu because its range is a little smaller than the other limiteds. Its range is still better than normal melees since it has more distance and can damage people from the sides or right on top of you. Range is a lot more important than people think. It is what distinguishes a good basing melee from a bad basing melee. So I would like to point out here that even just a little bit of extra range that Ryu and Cupid have makes them significantly better than Kanabo. Now onto the abilities. Kanabo has 3 dashes that have a 50% damage reduction. So there you see a 10 damage bullet did 5 damage as I dashed into it. The damage reduction activates at all sides, so it doesn't matter where you get hit from. And the reduction is only 50%, so poorly using your dashes in a base can quickly kill you. Also, these dashes don't deal damage to players, but they allow you to travel very far. One thing I will note is that the dashes do not deal damage to doors. So in this clip, I basically die because I can't melee the door to get through. The dash can also be annoying because you can't melee while the dash is active. So I don't recommend using the dash at all when you're near enemies. Sometimes it can be used to escape people, but otherwise I find the most use of the dashes when trying to get into flag or going from a heal room to a base. The next ability summons a magma circle that deals 2 damage per second to someone that stands on it and heals you 2 HP per second if an enemy stands in it. The enemy has to get damaged by the ability for it to heal you. This ability can be pretty hard to use since people do not directly stand in the death circle. I tried using it in a fort and it's hard to get use out of it. Now I'm going to give my own personal thoughts about the item. My feelings are mixed. I don't really like the synergy of the weapon. For one, the melee alone is meant to be a fast-paced, rush in, and swing and slash as much as you can. But the magma pit ability is meant for you to camp somewhere. Like you place it down and you're meant to stay in that level so you can heal or do damage to others, but if you exit the level, it deletes it. Not to mention the dashes don't do damage, so it's not worth it to activate the dashes when you see someone. Overall, the abilities clash really hard with the rush playstyle. When I first used this item, I tried using it like it was Cupid or Ryu. It just wasn't the same, and I find myself dying a lot when rushing people. I had to significantly change my playing style in order to best suit this item. Specifically, the best way to use it is to use the dashes to go from the heal room to the base, or use the dashes to get into the flag. Once inside, place the magma ability in a crowded door, and then try to get some melee Ks while bum rushing some people. Kanabo certainly has a high skill gap, and unlike Ryu and Cupid, it requires a lot more precision and thought when playing. You can't just go into a base and start swinging like crazy like Ryu can. With my biases aside though, I think Kanabo is a great limited for players with less than 1 million tro. It is worth like 700k tro right now, and the price has been very volatile, but I believe it is a fair price for this item. I look at Kanabo as a milestone item that you eventually trade up to get other limiteds like Ryu or Cupid. Kanabo is just slightly behind Ryu and Cupid in terms of usefulness, since it lacks a small amount of range and struggles to approach people. Cupid at least has a low freeze that allows you to walk and attack, making it a little easier to approach people. But Kanabo has nothing. Its dashes are meant to get you into flag room, not to get you closer to an enemy. I found myself dying a lot trying to approach people who killed me before I could even use the melee. This is why I mentioned that the dash on Ryu helps you approach enemies. So my final thought is that Kanabo is certainly worth the 700k price range if you want a dashing melee that will get you into the flag and a melee with range. Otherwise, if you have the anti-meta shield, Ariad, Ryu, or Cupid, I don't really see the point in buying Kanabo. If I had to describe Kanabo, I would say that it's as if Ariad and Ryu almost had a baby, but then dropped it on its head. Its dashes are worse than Ariad, and the melee is a little worse than Ryuama's. If you're looking for a dashing range melee like that, then by all means this is the perfect item for you. But like I said, I don't think this melee is for people with 1 million tro and above. Anyways, that's all I have to say, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.